Get smoother, brighter skin instantly in one easy step. Dermalogica's daily microfoliant gives you the smooth, glowy skin you want without damaging your skin barrier. This gentle exfoliating powder activates with water to smooth out rough texture and brighten skin. It's powerful enough to deliver results, yet gentle enough to use every single day, even on sensitive skin. See the results for yourself. Visit Dermalogica.com and use code SMOOTH at cart for an exclusive free gift with $65 purchase.
Anthony Mantha, it was a constant juggling act for people on my side, me especially, to give the European media, the folks who don't get a chance to cover a lot of NHL games, space to do their thing. I mean, they weren't asking questions that you would have been interested in. So I certainly wasn't. But I also know that they felt that their readers and the European audience would have enjoyed it. So there's only one tense moment, by the way, before I get to Anthony Mantha. It was, a Latvian reporter kind of tried to take over the Arturs Šilovs post-game on Friday, speaking in native language. So I glanced at my colleagues. They came over to, because we always talk to the starting goalie after the game, win or lose. And okay, it's 3, it's 4, it's 5 questions. He's starting to take over like it's a one-on-one. So I guess maybe me as the old guy taps him. Hey, we have to do English now. And he looked and I felt bad that Artie Šilov sort of, didn't realize that they had spent, 90 seconds or 2 minutes just talking in their native language. But, we all have a job to do. You can't do that stuff. Anyway, to Mantha, now that I've taken another 2 minutes here before I got to the Anthony Mantha story, and I was trying to lead him into more of a conversation rather than a quick soundbite back and forth. And so, I was like, you and Gino, your games kind of seem to mesh pretty well. There's some real similarities in how you play and some of the things you bring. He kind of just, without missing a beat, goes, I hope that's a compliment. In this case, it was. He's got a real dry, kind of punchy sense of humor. If you're not ready for it, and he doesn't crack a smile or laugh, you just... And it's amusing when you realize you've just been poked pretty good. What they are doing and the way he's using his size here in the first 19 games for the Penguins has shocked me. I didn't expect to see it coming. Asked Dan Muse about it, and Muse talked about how he's able to get between the dots and where he's scoring from, the playmaking ability. And I'll tell you what, he's skating significantly better than a 32-year-old who had ACL surgery. Let's see here. I guess it'd be 9 months ago now. And he's been skating well all the way through training camp and preseason, now into the season. I didn't expect any of that from Mantha. So Dubas pretty much just hit home run after home run through the offseason. He's run the table on this. That's, Wotherspoon, Shea. I don't know that Parker Wotherspoon is getting enough credit for how well he's playing. He's settling into sort of a quiet role, which, he's not pushing the play as much as he did in the first 5 or 10 games. But that's in part because he and Erik Karlsson have sort of formed this symbiotic pair, and Karlsson is just going off, and Wotherspoon is protecting him. It's a legitimate number one pairing for the Penguins, and I don't even have to praise him. Parker Wotherspoon's a player when I have to talk about him, it's probably a bad thing. He really, he's maybe adopting a same number too, not coincidentally, as Marcus Pettersson, adopting a lot of that very quiet, stable, consistent puck-moving role with the Penguins. Have I mentioned all the new players? Oh, no, I haven't gotten to Artie Shelov's yet. Another move that I was really dubious on because he made 10 games in the NHL last year before the Canucks, Jim Rutherford, Patrick Allvin said enough. No, this can't go on. Sent him back to the AHL, where he spent the rest of the season. Kevin Lankinen came in, took his job, and even though Thatcher Demko really struggles being healthy, in fact, he's on the IR again this season, they still traded Shelovs for just a fourth-round pick. That's all he was worth. And with the Penguins, with this pretty strict goalie rotation, .917 save percentage. You'll take that. I'm not going to tell you he's been perfect. The rebound control has been spotty. He has the last couple of games greatly improved that. And I think when Shelovs is on his game, I'm starting to get a beat on him. His glove is much better when he's on his games. I mean, the first month of the season, his glove was a brick. And that contributed to that rebound, or the lack of rebound control. But Sergei Miroshov, how much fun is it to watch, a goalie who could be special? There's a calm, a poise, a presence with Miroshov. None of this is out of the ordinary for him. He's not making spectacular diving windmill saves. He's not also in the process over maneuvering like Marc-Andre Fleury did in his first handful of years. He's calm and he stays within the pipes and he's on every angle. He also understands the game. Where puck comes near, paw on it, done. Play over. So it's entirely sustainable because he's not doing anything that you don't expect a goalie to do, but he's adding those little details to the game that maybe Penguins goalies have failed to do in the last. But let's be honest. I mean, Tristan Jarry had a couple first halves of the season, which he was an all-star. But then the second halves would always sort of bite him. Penguins goalie hasn't been solid all year since Matt Murray in 2018. Of course, that was when his glove hand was starting to really show. 17, when he and Fleury went back and forth and they were both great. So, yeah, we are talking that long, and Miroshov's only played 2 games. I don't know what Kyle Dubas is going to do when Tristan Jarry is healthy in about 2 weeks. I really don't know. I know that the team loves Miroshov. Loves him. Management loves him. Players love him. The players are already bought in. The things that they are saying about him, they didn't say these things about Shelovs or Jarry. The players are genuinely impressed by him. Take it for what it's worth, right? You always have to kind of nitpick or sift through what's a cliche, what's just a general compliment to the media, and what is real, what's authentic and genuine. Chris Letang was like his preparation. He comes to the rink every day knowing, what he needs to do, and he works on it, and you can see it in the results. That was sort of a genuine comment, especially since one of the European reporters really asked him sort of a grenade question right before then. I felt bad. I don't know if he was Finnish or Swedish, but he asked Chris Letang if he thought he would make the Canadian Olympic team. It's like, whew, brother, just back up, man. Just duck. Letang handled it pretty well. Dodged it with, there's a lot of good players, we'll see. But, I mean, 2 seconds of of research, and Letang's not even, it's not under consideration. They're down to 30 players, and maybe 10 years ago. Let me see what else I've got here on the notebook that I wanted to get into.
Get smoother, brighter skin instantly in one easy step. Dermalogica's daily microfoliant gives you the smooth, glowy skin you want without damaging your skin barrier. This gentle exfoliating powder activates with water to smooth out rough texture and brighten skin. It's powerful enough to deliver results, yet gentle enough to use every single day, even on sensitive skin. See the results for yourself. Visit Dermalogica.com and use code SMOOTH at cart for an exclusive free gift with $65 purchase.
Here is my there's my notes. So we've gone through Murashov. Let me tell you a bit about Murashov's game, though. In addition to the cool, calm, collected, poised, aware game that he plays, I want you to watch his glove hand. He has got a slick mitt. He'll flash the glove side just a bit. He'll give shooters just an inch, knowing full well that his glove is faster than the puck. He'll give it and he'll just take it right away. So he has, I think that also watch his, I don't know what to call it. So I'm going to maybe use a layman's term here, or the modified butterfly. And the fact that he doesn't flop. You don't see him going down. You don't see him caught sprawled on the ice. You don't see him lunging or reaching. He's always has his feet beneath him, so he's able to go laterally or even forward to take away an angle. He's made a lot of difficult saves just with routine because he's already taken away the net. And all right, so in the final few minutes here before I get to the Q&A. Playoffs. For all of the Penguins winning, 10 wins to this point, they're only 2 points ahead of the Rangers, 2 points and one game in hand ahead of the Rangers for being out of the playoffs. They're in third place. They could be, 2-game losing streak, or even just, a couple of ties, couple of overtime losses over 2 games. They could be out of the playoffs, or out of the playoff seeds. So that's the interesting thing. 10 days to Thanksgiving. I don't know that means a whole lot with this Eastern Conference this year. That magical Thanksgiving sort of pole in the track, because it's going to be so tight. There's going to be 4 teams within 2 points all season. Second place out of the playoffs back in, wild card and in and out all season. Having said all of that, I look at the meat the Penguins have left on the bone in some of these games, but I also look at what they have available to them without making a trade. I think we can probably agree that Philip Tomasino has been far too comfortable being invisible. His NHL run is, a good guy, I hate to say this, coming to an end. Tommy Novak is elevating his play. We're starting to see that spark that earned him a 3-year, $3.5 million contract. But there will be a couple of spaces that whether the Penguins want to bring up Tristan Brose, whether it's Sam Poulin, those would be bottom 6 substitutions, and I think they would add to the lineup, both of them, quite frankly. I'm kind of rooting for Sam Poulin. That guy has gone through hell and back twice. At this point is, more than 6 years since he was drafted, the personal issues and everything that he's gone through. And he had a great training camp. He's putting up a solid season already in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. If you're going to need a 4th line winger, you'd have to look at him. or even a third line winger. You look at Poulin over Tristan Brose, who really is limited to playing center. And that's going to be Brose's issue getting to the NHL, because Kindle showed us that he's a much better center than a winger. When Muse put Kindle back at center on Sunday, that third line jumped again. I don't think you can take him out of that spot, but you also can't put Brose on one of the wings. So that's going to be his thing. Rutger McGroarty made his season debut Saturday for Wilkes-Barre. And you'd have to think, I mean, he scores a goal. Everybody said, we actually had our new reporter, Sam Knoll, covering the game. And everybody said that McGroarty was maybe the best player on the ice. Now, that's adrenaline. That's, it's a lot of things. We'll see in 5 or 10 games, but that's a couple of weeks from now. Once the adrenaline wears off, he's probably easily a top 6 insertion into the Penguins lineup. I mean, for all of the good changes that Dan Muse made Sunday, he also had Connor Dewar on the top line. That's probably not where you want to go. Having said all of that now, given the Penguins' ability to turn it around and not self-destruct, given the lineup additions that are still waiting to be inserted, given the goaltending situation, which is now suddenly a strength, I really like Dan Muse's system. It's interesting. It's actually counter to everything else everyone else is doing. Everyone else right now, all the other coaches are trying to copy Carolina, and they're playing like a man-to-man high in the zone. Muse has gone the other way, and they're playing a zone high in the zone, a zone defense high in the defensive zone, and then playing man-to-man down low. So it's creating a difficulty for opponents to get between the dots for a good shot, because there's just more traffic. It's easier to play man-to-man in the small spaces than it is to play man-to-man up high where there's lots of space. So, if I had to bet, I'm not going to bet my bottom dollar on it. I'd probably give the Penguins a solid 60% chance, 65 maybe, of making the playoffs. All right, let me check. Let me see if I got any good Q&A, because I got a bunch of weird ones last week when I did this. I obviously posted some of the meals I had in Stockholm, and for what odd reason, I'm now like I was trending in Sweden because of some of the things I was eating, and people were like, "Oh, that's great! You should try this, try that," and now like I don't know where they're coming from. Like, people in the Mediterranean are just blowing up my Twitter. I don't get it, but let's see here. So anyway, there's one question I'm going to get to here. That's from Jim, our buddy Jim Stripsky. Why is Tomasino still on the roster? He's had plenty of runway to show he deserves a roster spot. I don't think he's shown enough to stay. I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. I don't need to belabor it. I hate piling on players. He's just too comfortable being invisible. He really, Mike Sullivan was on him last season to be harder on the puck, more effective and efficient and physical on the walls, to make a greater effort to get between the dots, to be on the right side of the puck in the defensive zone. He's improved since the Penguins acquired him last November. His game was a mess. But in that process to improve, it looks like he's sort of given away a bit of that offensive flair, too. And he's not doing the other things well enough to offset the lack of offense. So if he's not scoring, he's not really helping you. I see McGroarty up in a couple of weeks. Maybe Poulin gets the call. All right, kids, that is it from the lovely Delta Lounge in the Atlanta airport. You will probably hear this on Tuesday morning. Hopefully the sound was pretty good, and I don't have to re-record this. In the meantime, eventually I will, in fact, get home. I don't want to see the dust bunnies floating through my house, but I'm sure there's a few. They breed. If you also like to do laundry, I'll tell you where I live. In the meantime, have fun.
Get smoother, brighter skin instantly in one easy step. Dermalogica's daily microfoliant gives you the smooth, glowy skin you want without damaging your skin barrier. This gentle exfoliating powder activates with water to smooth out rough texture and brighten skin. It's powerful enough to deliver results, yet gentle enough to use every single day, even on sensitive skin. See the results for yourself. Visit Dermalogica.com and use code SMOOTH at cart for an exclusive free gift with $65 purchase.